Norman Frazier. Dwayne Fowler.
Here.
Ronnie Hopper. Three absent.
Brett Bolt.
He was here.
You press the button on your tablet.
I did that already.
Oh, you're talking about all of it. Okay, gotcha. Okay, 15 present, 3 absent.
We do have a quorum. Next on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Need a motion and a second. We have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Ferguson. Any questions about the agenda? If none, please vote.
All in
Your voice
favor?
vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes.
Next is number 2, which is the Citizens Forum. And I do have 5 names, so we'll go with the first one, which is Christy Baldwin.
Hello. Thank you, guys. I came up here, I know this is not something that's actually on the agenda tonight, but I know that you will be having a subcommittee meeting, I believe Wednesday it is, and then a special meeting if it's approved there. I would like to talk about the property tax that is being considered, the increase. I believe that that is something our small county that's very impoverished right now with no new jobs coming in, it would be very detrimental to our community. At this point, we are almost a retirement community, and I believe if you keep increasing the property taxes, because even though technically it wasn't a property tax increase when they increased the value of the property, it still meant people were paying more money. So they've already had that within the last 12 months. We don't need another one that is going to take us from being a retirement community and put us into a ghost town. Like, people need a way to recoup. Our gas is super high right now. Electricity has went up. Water bills are going up. Every bill we've got is going up because of the economy right now. I think the last thing we need to do is raise taxes and put even more stress on the people of Benton County. I feel like that there should be some ways that we can trim the budget other ways, get rid of some fat. We have some services right now. I know the Barrett Group has basically been here long enough, they should have found anything that was missing. So I think that's one that we could turn loose, cut loose, and save a little money there to put back into the budget. There's several other places. I mean, I know if I can sit down and look at it and kind of see where it should be trimmed, I feel like the heads of these departments ought to be able to do the same thing to keep, for the betterment of Benton County, to keep the people to where they're not just poor. I mean, you know, pretty much is now anyway, but it's just, it kind of gets ridiculous after a hot minute. It's like, send your money here, send your money here, give it here, and you see everybody else is getting raises, but the people that's coming out of their pocket, you know? Or we have other places, I know that, I mean, I'm well aware that most of our people are underpaid in Benton County, but so are the people, the citizens, you know what I mean, that aren't working for the government. So, you know, what do? I don't know, but I don't think a property tax increase is the way to go. Thank you, guys.
Susan Hubbs.
Good evening. My name is Susan Hubbs. I'm the director of the Benton County Public Library System, and we just wanted to take a minute tonight to invite all of you to come by the library and visit with us as we end a fiscal year and begin a new one, to see what an asset this is to your county. We'd like you to understand that we have the main library here in Camden, the branch library in Big Sandy, which is currently operating out of the CCOC until it finds a new home, and the archives in the basement of the library, which most of you should be familiar with. Several of the offices up here use it quite often, and we would like to take a minute to invite you to come and see what all that we do. We'd also like to take a minute to recognize and thank our county maintenance department and Greg Pfeiffer for all that he does, because we are open until 8 o'clock at night, 2 nights a week, and on Saturdays. As a matter of fact, this evening, Greg came back after he picked up his daughter and fixed a toilet for me. He's been known to come up there on weekends on his own time and help us out, and we really wanted to take a minute and thank him for doing that and going above and beyond what he needs to do to keep your beautiful library going all the time. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
Carol Wallace.
Y'all think I can do this in 5 minutes? I've got confidence. For anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Carol Wallace. I'm the director of Benton County Senior Center, and I'm here to promote our center a little bit. First, though, I want to second what Susan said about Greg. Had to call him this morning. He's Johnny on the spot. He's there to keep us running. We got problems every week, but I appreciate him. So thanks, Greg, wherever you are tonight. What I'd like to talk to y'all about, I think this is a great forum for me to reach Benton County people that may not know about Benton County Senior Center. I have been told twice in the last couple of weeks, well, we didn't know you were there. Didn't know where you were or what you do. Well, I'm fixing to change that right now. We are located at 119 Cole Avenue, right off Main Street, right behind St. Mary's Catholic Church. Anybody watching that's new to the area, if you're 60 and up, we would love to have you. Stop by, pick up a calendar. Actually, I brought some with me. I'm going to leave them out here on this little row of benches out here for anybody who'd like to pick one up. We just want to invite everybody, because we've had a zoo trip. We try to do 2 little trips a month, and we go out and eat. We have bingo every week. We have yoga. We have an exercise room. We just have a lot that people don't realize. So that's why I came tonight. I just want to reach out to everybody. Come on out and see us. If you've got a family member that falls in that age group, send them on up there. I guarantee you they'll have a good time. So I did it, 3 minutes and 13 seconds left. Thank y'all.
Debbie Bain.
I just want to come into agreement with what Christy Baldwin was speaking before y'all. I do not believe that we need our property taxes increased, and we sure don't need a wheel tax. A lot of people are not happy with the Walmart building being bought that I have spoken with, and we sure will not be happy with a property tax increase. Americans and people in this county are having a hard time struggling, even across this country. We're having a hard time struggling with buying food, buying gas, taking care of children, and maintaining a roof over our head when paychecks are staying the same or even being cut less, and everything else is costing us more. We can't afford it. At least 25% of the people in this county live below poverty level. That's below it. And I can say I'm one of them. We're having a hard time just getting by and paying what we have to pay with utilities and the cost of everything going up. Now is not the time. With everything going on, people are losing their jobs. There's not even any good jobs here, really. Any good full-time paying jobs here to amount to anything. We're not a retirement county. We're a poverty county right now. And that's where we're at. I mean, it's just not a good thing to keep putting more and more taxes on the people who are already struggling just to survive and feed their kids and just get through day-to-day life. I mean, it's just insanity to keep pushing this on the people. And a lot of them are not happy with this Walmart building being bought. Everybody that I talk to is not happy with it. I know it's a done deal now, but we sure don't need to raise property taxes to pay for something that the people didn't even want to begin with. So that's what I wanted to say, and I thank you for your time.
James Peach.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I don't have much to say tonight, but what's on the agenda? Is the agenda tonight secret? You know, the school board, they have these, the school board having semi-secretive meetings, they make decisions, and then they have the regular school board meeting, they put captions with no information about what's being presented. I talked to Mr. Florence, and I told him, I said, this can't continue. If we have to, we'll go to court, but you're going to provide information to the people. The people are the ones that pay you guys, the people are the ones that elect you guys, except a lot of you guys have been appointed. But I'm very disturbed about what's going on in the school system. They won't build a new school. We're losing students. They estimate we're going to lose about 400 students. And you won't build a new school? Who's going to pay for it? I'm one of the largest taxpayers in this county. I'm glad to support this county. But I tell you what, I've had enough with this secretive type government, not only in the school board. Like tonight, why didn't you offer the agendas to the folks in the audience so they know what you're going to talk about? They might have a question about it. But you let them speak, you don't give them any information. Who made that decision? Roseanne, who made that decision?
To do what, Mr. Peach?
To not give the audience a copy of the agenda.
As far as I remember back, there has never been a copy of the agenda laying outside for the public.
If we don't have it next
First of all,
month-
it is posted in the paper every
No,
month, so you can get a copy of it
What
out
you're
of the
doing is not
newspaper.
right. If you don't have one next month, we're going to court.
Well, Mr. Peach, I had one ready for you tonight because I knew you were going to come up here and say something about it, so I made you that copy. So I hope you're happy,
Okay, how many of you folks would like to know what's on the agenda? Look at that.
okay?
You ought to be
It's in-
ashamed of yourself.
It's in the paper. I mean,
We have a representative government, right? We have a
Mr.
representative
Peach, I
government.
think that's something that you should take up with the mayor's office, and that should
No,
be
I have
something
freedom to
decided
say this. I'm
on
not-
later.
I'm
For us
talking
to
about
change-
freedom.
For us to change our rules of order or our procedure of preparing the agenda, that should be something that should be discussed and voted on.
I want the people to know what's going on. The people pay the taxes, they support the schools, they support you guys. I know y'all don't make $75 a month, which won't even fill up your gas tank now. But I want people on the budget committee to know something about economics. We appoint people to the budget committee that knows nothing about economics. You appoint people that are yes people, you know they're going to do what you want. We've had enough of that. Now, I just want you to do what's right. Let the people know what you're doing. Don't have a citizens forum without providing information about what you're going to be considering. That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of. Thank you.
Excuse me, Ms. Ward, I didn't know there was a sign-up sheet. I was wondering if I could speak.
Yes, you may.
Thank you very much.
State your name, please.
My name is Elissa Kleeman. 2 years ago, almost today, I fell in love with Benton County and I bought a property on Forest Lane. And this is what I put up with all day, every day, right outside my front door. All day, every day,
What is that?
Monday through Friday. This is the view from my front door. It's a quarry that started in January. I'm a musician, semi-retired, and I need to teach, to play, to practice, and record. I work for a website, and I cannot do my recordings because my microphones pick up these bulldozers and beeps and mess all day long. I can't teach at night, and I can't record at night. They don't work when it's raining, and my microphones pick up the rain noise.
Is that a
and-
private-owned quarry?
It's, do you want me to name them, tell the name of them? It's Louis.
Okay, but it's private-owned, is right?
I don't know. I've complained to so many people. This is my last gasp
Have
right
you
here.
come to the budget, to the property committee meeting and spoke to them about this?
I'm learning this process, so if you have,
Okay.
information for me, I would gladly. take it into, go complain where I need to complain. And they're putting me out of business. And my Social Security isn't enough to keep me. And if you raise my property taxes on top of it, you're going to kill me. That's what it feels like. I can't work, and I can't sell, and I can't move, and the whole neighborhood is upset. And I'm also, thank you for letting me speak.
You're welcome. We will refer that to the property committee and see if they can check into that and see if they can help
Thank you,
you,
I really
okay?
appreciate that. Somebody will tell me if I speak to them after the meeting.
Yeah, if you're here at the end of the meeting, we'll talk to you.
Thank you.
Anyone else before we move on? Next is the Commissioners Forum. Do we have a commissioner that wants to speak? Commissioner Hill?
I was at the budget meeting the other night, and I know that there is a meeting coming up Wednesday where the budget committee will vote on whether to recommend that budget to the full body. And my question is, have they already made up their minds, or, is the Wednesday meeting just a formality, or is there going to be an actual opportunity for commissioners to weigh in with questions and concerns? Because if you've already made up your mind, there's no point in any of us even attending it.
I will refer that to the chairman of the budget committee.
The meeting Wednesday night is to approve the school's budget and to look at the recommendation that we have been talking about. It's not set in stone. There will be an opportunity to speak. We had invited all the commissioners to last week's meeting and had a few that came, but yes, it's Wednesday night here at the courthouse, 5 o'clock.
Okay, now, if Wednesday night you look at that budget and you realize that maybe we need to make a few changes, can you do that and still have another meeting to approve it so that you can schedule a special called meeting? I mean...
Yes. If it is deemed necessary to make changes Wednesday night, it has not been voted on. It would not be voted on until after those things have been considered. And if it's deemed that there needs to be changes, then we would simply put off the vote, schedule another meeting, and come back and discuss whatever's there.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Commissioner Preston?
Thank you, Chairman. I choose tonight, Chairman, to make my first statement to the budget and about the budget that they presented to us. I respectfully disagree with the budget committee's budget that has been brought before us. You commissioners, myself, many citizens have been told last year's revenues were inflated to the point, bad enough, we're going to have a tax increase this year. A few estimates made last year have come up short of expected revenues. Excise, state prisoners, and invested income. This year's budget committee has taken last year's budget that was $51,233 overfunded, and they have turned it into a $750,356 underfunded budget. They have estimated the 2023 budget to be $1,129,450 underfunded, found in draft 4, and this would be the science, this would be the numbers that they've used to create and ask us for a 15-cent property tax increase. Going forward, the dollar amounts I discussed with any of y'all, I have on paper. Most of them from the trustee's office, a lot of old budgets, and one from Tasser. Starting with the 2022 budget, draft 6, page 3, line item 40162, it shows $200,000. This $200,000 is from the electric company. The electric company don't pay property taxes, they pay in lieu of taxes. They pay, last year, they pay one time a year. They pay in June. They paid Benton County $757,801 last year. Of that money, $20,500 went to the highway, $200,000 goes to the school, and the $521,000 is reflected under the audit, the 21 audit, on the same line as the payment in lieu of taxes electric company. All right, the estimate for 2023 is $725,000. The estimate for 2022, they have down $200,000. That line item should reflect the same thing the 2023 reflects. This, even in the fourth budget, they had $680,000 there. Now, why they shrunk it to $200,000, I don't have a clue. Moving on. Same page, line item 40280, mineral severance tax. Mineral severance tax is what comes out of the ground from the mining companies. They pay 15 cents a ton. The first $160,000 goes to the highway department. Anything above that goes into the general fund. On this line item, the budget committee has $861 going into the general fund from severance. Already paid to the trustee's office. The highway has received their $160,000. The general fund has received $29,357. We have the rest of May and we have all of June to continue receiving money. That line could easily reflect $29,357. TVA revenue sharing, page 9, line item 46851. I'm going to turn to page 9, y'all. Reflects $1,061,734 in 2022. We estimated to bring in $1.6 million in TVA revenues. This estimate is unwise. There's no reasoning for this estimate. TVA makes 4 payments a year to Benton County. They have made 3 payments. Only thing I can figure out, this number was estimated after the second payment. Right now, TVA has already paid us more money than this estimate shows. From TASER and TVA, they've provided us with a document that TVA will pay Benton County $1,692,600 this year. $50,000 of it going to the highway department, the rest of it going to the general fund. They have underestimated this incoming revenue at $542,600. Last year, lots of conversation about TVA going to cut what they send to the counties. We talked about it a lot. They did cut us. They cut us $39,188. This budget committee has created their own budget cut, TVA cut, and their estimate is next year we're going to get $1,100,000 from TVA. From 2022 to 21, we lost $39,000. Budget committee is estimating $542,600. These 3 revenues total $1,096,096. We now have a 2022 balanced budget with a $345,000 overfund. Little history, 2020.
Mr. President, I'm sorry, but you are out of
Can I
time.
yield my time? May I yield my time, please?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
A little history. 2020, everybody. Brett's first year. Steve Bates, our financial advisor, his last year. We started out with an underfund budget of $896,340. I heard talk about property values going down, sales tax going down, delinquencies going up, delinquencies of people that don't pay property taxes. I heard 40 cents property tax increase, a lot of talk about that. Well, guess what? After Tennessee State Comptrollers audited the year 2020, we overfunded the general fund $1,373,864 and without a property tax increase. Again, 2021, the second draft showed a $572,708 underfunded budget. Looking at today's budget, this one here, it will show that the Tennessee State Comptrollers audited last year, the 2021, and we overfunded the general fund $705,768 without a property tax increase. Let's go to 2023. I'm going to the top of draft 4 before the 15-cent property tax was added to draft 6. It shows that our budget is $1,129,450 underfunded. This is a 2023 budget. At the top of page 2, it shows an uncollected rate of 6%. 6% is an estimate of how many people's not going to pay property tax. Change this to last year's rate number of 3.5, and the general fund increases $94,327. The school fund increases $102,717, and this money is above their maintenance effort. So all the budget has to do is move that extra $102,000, move it from the school to the general fund, and we've closed that underfund gap by $197,044. There's a new tax that I haven't heard budget talking about. I haven't heard the first discussion. The trustee's office provided me with it. It started in August 2021, out-of-state sales tax for the first time. So far, it's netted $34,953, and we still got 2 more months of payments. Waste management, page 6, line item 43116. It shows an estimate of $650,000 this 2023. Already, Waste Management has paid this county $525,003, and that's 9 payments. We got 3 more payments. The average payment is $58,000 a month. You add those 3 average payments to that amount, we've got $700,000 that line item can show, not $650,000. On top of that, Waste Management has given us a raise this summer. Right now, they're paying us $1.20 for every ton of trash brought from outside the county is going to be buried in the ground. We're getting a 20-cent raise this year. It'd be $1.40. You take the 583,336 tons estimated to be buried in this ground right here, you can raise that estimate, and it's within realistic numbers to $816,670. Local option sales tax, 2022. Local option sales tax will break $2 million for the first time. This is what's going to the county, not the 2 cities. Benton County is on target to receive $2,120,000. Half of this amount, by state law, is required to go to the schools. The second half goes to the general fund, anywhere the Budget Committee wants to put it. Budget Committee has put $143,250 into the local option sales tax, which goes to the general fund. They put $717,047 into the debt service. Debt service is what we pay our bills with. This totals $860,297. This leaves $199,760 unaccounted for, short. That money needs to be put in the general fund. We've already been paid 10 months of sales tax this year, and we ain't going to start going back it's not going to start going backwards. Every year, local options for the county, local option sales tax from 2014 to 2022 averaged an increase per year of $146,568. Budget needs to go back and sit at the table and talk about that money also. Moving on. Page 9, TVA, they pay in lieu of taxes. Earlier, this estimate by Budget Committee is badly missed. I talked about it earlier. I'm not going to talk about it again. Budget is showing we're going to receive $1.1 million. You could easily replace that with $6.6 million. On page 40 of this budget, $200 is committed to the Walmart building renovation. I'm going to say it again, $200,000 is committed to the Walmart renovation.
Mr. Preston, I'm sorry, but you're out of time again.
I'll give you my time.
Thank you all. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
You can have up to 30 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. There's not another subject more important than this, and thank you. I'm gratefully
Well,
appreciative.
this can also be talked about at the Budget Committee meetings.
Tonight, I chose to talk about it.
That's fine. You've been at the Budget Committee meetings. Have you shared this with the Budget Committee?
No.
Okay.
I've researched up to time it was time to leave here. I put a lot of reading, a lot of thought into this. I wasn't prepared to talk about this a week ago.
That's fine.
$200,000, was that supposed to be for the senior citizens' money? so they could have that $200,000 in there and have their senior citizens in there?
It's on,
You
it's,
spit out a lot of numbers, and I am not tax raised, I don't know. I mean, you're the one that you missed, did you not miss the TVA assumption of how much money they were going to give us? You sit up here and said, we're going to assume we're going to get this, and how much did we miss it by, Phil? Do you have any idea?
I couldn't tell you the exact figures. However, if Rocky will bring his numbers to the budget meeting on Wednesday night, we'll go over it line item by line item. That's what he wishes. And certainly the line items that he is quoting, and try to determine how he comes up with those figures as opposed to...
I have this, is this,
Everyone to know that $200,000 is going for that. Is that not part of the senior citizens, so they could be in that building and have a new building? That's what I want to know. You're giving a lot of information, but you've just given a bit of it. That's all you're doing. It's not, it's a bad...
I'm going to answer your question.
It's mismanagement.
Let-
$200,000.
Hold your comments until he's finished, Mr. Fowler, okay, and then you can talk.
Thank both of you. I'm going to read, it says, school football field improvements or Walmart building projection. And right here, it's from Tasser, everybody. This shows, if you look at Benton County, it shows that Benton County is going to receive $1,692,600 for the 2022 year. You were told we lost $300,000, you were told wrong.
They didn't say 300, I think about 120.
You want to look at that? I'm going to get back to what I got to say.
Mr. President, stay on focus with your time.
Okay, moving on, everybody. Debt service. Debt service is overfunded $231,229. This money could be moved to the general fund to help balance the budget, and we would still have a balanced budget in debt service. The $231,000 I'm talking about is we have more revenue going into the debt service than we're paying out for the debts. That's why we have $3 million in the debt service. Moving on, I'm getting close. Now, for the biggest, this is the Budget Committee's largest missed revenue opportunity. Page 58. This is the school's budget, line item 40210, local option sales tax. The school has estimated $2,291,460 to be brought in from the county, Camden, and Big Sandy. Sales tax projections for this year, Benton, Camden, and Big Sandy, is $6,393,761. State law requires that 50% of this revenue is to go to the schools. That revenue amount is $3,196,880. The school's estimate is short actual revenue income of $905,420. This amount is equal to 32.3 property tax cents. The state has Benton County's maintenance of effort at $6,271,750. This budget shows we're giving the school $6,338,000, a little difference in $67,000. Not bad. If this local option dollar amount that I'm discussing with y'all is left unchanged, Benton County will be paying $7,244,081 to the school's budget. Leaving these numbers unchanged results in $972,331 above the state's required maintenance of effort for the Benton County schools. Essentially, if nothing is changed, the Budget Committee misses an opportunity to move $972,000 to the general fund and eliminate the underfunded budget and eliminate the tax increase that's being talked about. Just local option sales tax. I'm going to give just a little history. In 2014, Benton County received...
Your time's up.
Kenneth probably give him some.
Not do so.
Okay.
Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you for the encouragement, Dwayne.
You know, Rocky,
I've got 2014, Benton County received $646,703 in local option sales tax. In 2019, for the first time, Benton County went over $1 million. In 2022, the first time, 1 month brought in over $200,000 in sales tax. We're on target to bring in $2,120,114. Budget is asking for a 15-cent property tax increase. That's equal to $420,390. And this budget committee has committed $900,000 in 3 different accounts to the Walmart upgrades and renovation. I'm going to say it one more time. Budget has committed $900,000 in 3 different accounts to the Walmart upgrades and renovation. Chairman, I rest my case now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other commissioner? No, you're out of order, Mr. Peach.
Okay, thank you. Rocky, you need to be back on the budget.
Does any other commissioner want to say anything? Do we have any other statements from any other commissioners? Mr. Fowler,
Yes.
you're recognized now to speak.
Yes, look, folks, we have got a problem. You are correct. Nobody wants a tax raise, and I wouldn't vote for that unless there's some things. But look, quit throwing this Walmart building, that's a $750,000. We had $3.6 million put under an old Ford Lockhart. Keep it on small layman's terms, to go to the Ford Lockhart building and get you an ag extension office. The Walmart building is going to bring in, the way it works out, is going to bring in your senior citizen center. You may get to rent a space in it, and you may have an opportunity for this county to bring in something as far as a civic center that will make us a little money. This Walmart building was already budgeted, if I'm correct, to go down here where there's nothing now, folks. Nothing. So where would you want to be? What would you want to spend? 3.6 down here and build you an ag extension with no senior citizens chance of anything? Taking that $200,000, that was to go to refurbish somewhere for senior citizens. Here you'll have it in there. You know, we got problems with the budget, but I was not on board with this Walmart deal. But I promise you, if you'll weigh it all out and talk to somebody, I know it, I see you shaking your head, I understand completely. I run a small business for the last 20 years. We're not going to have, I would not vote for that.
Ma'am, you're out of order. You're not allowed to speak.
She's on my time, let her talk. What?
We were promised by the chairwoman at the Walmart meeting that they would not raise our property taxes at all.
God, I hope they don't.
It's not because of the Walmart building.
It's not because of the Walmart building, y'all, really.
That's grant money.
Kick that football through the field goal and get it over with. It's not because of the Walmart building. What's it for? It's over this administration spending too much money for contractors, for people wanting to do grant writers, for things of that nature, paying extra, wanting to hire extra people and all kinds of things like that. Really get to the budget thing and look at where we're wasting so much money in this administration. That's what you need to be looking at.
And does any other commissioner have,
Let's sell this down here. Really, if that's what y'all want, and you put a petition up there and say you want to sell that Walmart building, you want to build everything down there in this hole, and then spend all of that and not do away with your senior citizen center, then that's what you need to do. I did that 3 or 4 years ago on $6.5 million that was fixing to put in a splash pad, a farmer's market. The only time that place you have pipe sunshine in down there since Walmart's there, since Country and Western's gone, the only time you don't pipe it in is when the fair is going on. And then you don't make nothing off it. So, really, really look at this Walmart building. We're going to buy a building for $750,000 for so many square feet. I looked at that building for 4 hours before, looking at it for this volleyball stuff and having a basketball thing on our own personal level. It just wasn't high enough. Ma'am, go ahead. You're on my time.
We're going to have hardly enough time to put food on the table.
I know it. I understand.
How can we afford to go to a civic center?
You ain't got to, but some other people come in that's your revenue. But what you're looking at is a better area. You're just looking at something better than it is. I apologize, but I just hate to hear the Walmart building throw the curve, because all that money's already from right here. Most of it is from down here at the old Ford Lockhart building. Think about it, when you get your Civic Center, you may rent out a spot USDA, and then you may have some other things going on there. But that's it. I hate to hear the Walmart building thinking that's part of our problem. It ain't part of our problem. That problem lies within other factors. That's been wasteful spending. That's all it is.
Fix your other factors within the house and fix what went wrong and start putting it on the people.
What now?
What went financially wrong in house needs to be fixed with y'all.
Exactly. There you go. I'll agree with you 100%. So there you go. I just hate to keep hearing the Walmart building. I swear to goodness. You just don't understand the factor of it, of what's going on there. I mean, really, I wasn't on board in the beginning of it, but we promised you there's no administration's office in there. This courthouse don't change, but you're getting your ag extension and you're getting your senior citizens and maybe something else to do something to rent the place out. I mean, you couldn't miss it. I promise you. I looked at it, went all over the joint with the realty company, looking at it for the basketball and looking at it for the volleyball thing with a couple investors.
Rocky can help you figure it out.
Do what?
Rocky can help you.
Who?
Rocky can help you figure it out.
I'm sure Rocky can.
He's the smartest one in this whole building.
I got Mr. Valerie, you're out of time. Any other commissioner? Kenneth Miller, you're recognized.
He used his time.
That's right, you've used your time.
Thank you.
Any other commissioner?
Sure you're gonna let him speak?
He used his
Yielded
time
his
up.
time.
Unless some other commissioner wants to give him their time. Commissioner King?
Madam Chairman.
Yes.
Rocky, I appreciate all the numbers you threw out, but unless I've got something in my hands to see, you just spouted numbers to me. Wednesday night, I'd like for you to bring something that shows what you're saying, okay? Because I don't do well with hearsay. I got to see things to be able to see what I'm doing. So I'd appreciate it if you bring something that we can look at to see where you're coming from, to make sure that what you say is actually what it is.
Your point's well taken.
And I hope it's not a political statement. That's all I got.
Any other commissioner? Okay, we're going to move on then. Next is number 4 on your agenda. Our county attorney is not present, or our finance advisor. We don't have an invited guest, but we do have our county mayor, who I would like to welcome back. This is his first commission since he has returned from his deployment. We thank you for your service and welcome back.
Oh boy, how I love these discussions. And before I get into, discussing what I want to talk about tonight, the first thing I want to say is we have a lack of understanding problem here, okay? And I'm sure that you're not going to like seeing my return.
No, I don't mind. I think you all.
Because you throw out numbers on one side that are completely unsubstantiated, but then defend your numbers throwing them out which are completely unsubstantiated. So I want to say that it's understanding, not everyone is not right maybe on the number, but the understanding of how we get to a number and what backs it up. I'm surprised that you won't take his validation of backing up numbers, but yet you'll take a budget committee who doesn't have any more verification of the numbers than he would have. So, just to ensure that Mr. Rocky, Commissioner Preston, knew what he was talking about, I took him to a financial professional last week. I trust that financial professional with my life.
County pay for the trip?
Nope. Well, first of all, they're always paying for my trip, right? I'm on call 24/7, right? But no expenses were billed to the county. But I know that when Commissioner Preston, because he has his heart in numbers, he's thrown them out for his whole career as being a commissioner. I wanted to make sure that he did not have a misinterpretation of the number, and I took him to that financial professional and I sat back and I let them go over the numbers. And every single one of his numbers were verified. In fact, the financial professional could not understand why the budget presented certain numbers that were not verified, that he had documentation of verification. So I don't trust his budget like I would a Confederate dollar. So at the end of the day, We may have numbers correctly, but how we interpret and apply those numbers is called understanding. And we can all get a better understanding of the numbers and how they work.
You seem to be looking
But to
at-
correct you on the,
But no, I
but,
was gonna tell you, you're right. I don't, I don't know the budget committee, but I'm just getting tired of hearing the Walmart thing is causing our taxes.
and we're getting tired of you telling people we're going to have tax raises over numbers of your lack of understanding. It doesn't mean you don't have the right concern,
I learned today.
but you just threw out $3.3 million, of which $2 million of that was non-Benton County dollars. Okay? So the Senior Citizen Center was not paid for by grants, it was paid for by the $2 million bond financing. So
Mr.
either way,
Fowler?
the numbers that we, I know the
Mr.
numbers that we
Fowler, please
present out
save your
will
questions.
always be proper.
Write down your questions that you would like to ask.
So
Mayor
there's a
Lashley.
lot that I could talk about, but again, those who are in confusion of the TVA pilot, it's based upon 5% of the power sales for TVA. Did anyone call Waste Management to ask them if they plan on sustaining the tonnage rate that they were going to do? Did anyone make that call? Do you know who to call when that comes? Because I called them before I ever left, and although they had a dip 2 years ago, they assured that for the next 3 to 5 years we will have a steady rate. So Mr. Preston's numbers, if he bases it on the 40 to 20 cent increase in the rate, would probably be more accurate than what we had been projecting, but that's a different story. I wanted to recognize, I don't know if Dr. Shannon is in the office or in the auditorium. I had a plaque made for Dr. Shannon, and because anyone who steps up to serve their county, regardless of what the situation is going to be, deserves a thank you from the citizens of Benton County. And whether we oppose each other politically or have differing points of views, Dr. Shannon stepped up to serve his county in need, and I had a plaque made just to thank him. It's made of Benton County wood, Benton County cherry. Mr. Dan Miller Woodworking handcrafted this specifically, and I was going to present this to Dr. Shannon when I see him. I'll make sure that he gets it. But I do believe that whether we agree politically or for whatever reason, he deserves our recognition and our applause. I wish that everyone would thank him for it. It's good to be home. I've got a lot of stories I could tell. Mainly is that I'm proud that I served my country when they called me. And I apologize in advance if people get their feelings hurt for what I'm about to probably say. But we're all professionals, I hope, and we're definitely all adults. And so it's my time for the floor, and I'm going to use it. So imagine if you leave home for a trip and have someone feed your pets or home sit, and you come back and the whole house has been rearranged, turned inside out without your knowledge, maybe even some of the furniture completely replaced, without your knowledge or consent or even consultation. Well, that is how I currently feel. And I'm amazed at the purposeful lack of professional courtesy towards me in my absence, and for the efforts we have previously made on various initiatives proposed over a 3-year period of time. My probable successor stood before you in June and July of last year to vie for the interim position, and never were their viewpoints on any of these new projects you have approved ever discussed. Nothing. In fact, one candidate stated that they would continue with the approved projects that we had started and administered. But I guess only a lawyer or a politically motivated oversight committee could find a way to interpret that as open-ended authority. In fact, the question was asked to the actual interim mayor if he was going to communicate and work with the elected mayor, and that was assured. Yet not a single decision was made with my input, counsel, or endorsement. I've been purposely kept in the dark, just like the public. Oh, and by the way, we will not be having closed-door meetings to set up hidden agendas just before critical meetings like we saw with the old Walmart purchase. That ends now. I knew there could be potential political agendas implemented in my departure, and that's why I asked for the former State Attorney General, Paul Summers, to consider being my replacement. He stated to this body his very efforts would be directed toward being the manager of the county's responsibilities, and he'll turn it back in as good a shape as he took over. No political motives, he emphasized. Yet did anyone on this body ask, Mayor, whom would you have replace you in your absence? That's called professional courtesy. Not a word. And that was the second direct disrespectful action. The creation of the Oversight Committee was basically, with rigged participants, was the first. I'm not saying this just for my sake. This goes for Wanda, Sherry, Ryan, Sonia, the sheriff, or anyone that would basically have to depart their office and come back, only to return with everything in complete disorder from what they left it. This body and the interim mayor made multi-million-dollar decisions hastily and purposely to thwart our many months of previous initiatives simply out of spite. I knew of these plans months before and predicted such actions before I even departed. Did it ever occur to you that I could have returned in 10 days, 10 weeks, at the maximum 10 months, and put a halt to such efforts like I'm about to do? You previously overlooked the fact that I was eventually returning. My disappointment is you wasted a lot of time, money, and energy simply out of your political motivations, and the people of Benton County are the losers for such actions. I know as of today, we have spent over $750,000 on an old Walmart building project. We have another $900,000 allocated in the next budget for this building. We have no idea how much it would cost, but better, we have know how much it's going to cost to sustain it once we get the improvements made. The time and expense that have been put into this money pit is embarrassing. We will never have the proper utilization of this building to justify the cost, and we stretched our ideas to justify the potential use. And again, we will never occupy the space and end up with too much space we are not prepared to manage. I will not be spending a single penny on the old Walmart building that our county attorney and comptroller doesn't force me to. I'll repeat that. I will not be spending a single penny on this Walmart building project. However, out of professional courtesy and the public respect of the pending August elections, and possibly the voters' potential desires, I will not kill the Walmart projects as my interim predecessor did to me, and this body did to me as well. I will simply say that so long as I'm mayor, the old Walmart projects as presented are dead on arrival. I will focus my efforts into using this property for economic recruitment and private investment via a lease purchase, or outright sale of the property. My focus on the property is to leverage it for jobs and good wages versus it being a public money pit to our taxpayers. If we have to keep it, the property is best utilized in the hands of the industrial board, not the county commission or the mayor. Now, I know what you're thinking. I can't legally sell it without your authority, and that's true, but if I can find buyers and or tenants, and when that time happens, I'm going to dare you to look the people in the eye and tell them you choose this money pit over good jobs, incomes, and revenue to the county. That question and consideration was never given in the limited public debate when purchasing the property. When comparing government versus private commercial use, the citizens and taxpayers gain with the latter. So let me emphasize tonight, I am your county mayor. I will not be moving on any project I did not previously endorse or initiate. In essence, the old Walmart building and some other side projects are dead for now. As to the budget, again, I have been kept out of the loop on the budget process. I was just an email away, Facebook message away. Sometimes I could even get phone calls. I actually had people calling me overseas when I was in an area where I could receive them. Not a single call did I get. I now show up with a 15-cent tax increase thrown in my face. By your early actions, why would I trust the budget? I've never seen such haste in trying to pass the budget or lock it in so early and prior to my return. I actually had a financial professional ask me, what in the world is going on with the county commission trying to rush some of these decisions, or the budget committee? What are they doing? I mean, we've got plenty of time to prepare this budget. So, again, I trust the budget like I do a Confederate dollar. I will not sign any budget that has a tax increase with it. We have had a historic collection of revenue. We have had a historic collection of revenue never before seen in our history. Sales tax, property valuations, and more. Yet we're being slapped with a 15-cent tax rate increase. We have little or minimal debt. These are issues that need to be clarified and discussed. And not only do I put that responsibility on your shoulders, it's also my responsibility. So, if you hand me a budget, just as Commissioner Preston said, it's like name that tune. I believe in 3 moves we can balance the budget, in 5 moves we can be well into the black. Again, if the budget is presented me with even a 1 penny tax increase, I will not lend my signature to that resolution. Lastly, to just prove my earlier assumption of politics being played, why would you allocate by resolution millions of dollars in grants 3 weeks before I return? Why would you rush to these allocations? I'm your elected county mayor. This is my privilege. I believe it's back in April, it's 220418-7. You've got over $3 million of allocations there. I'm sure a lot of that's from grants. But again, when your county mayor is actually already on U.S. soil, I came home from my mother's funeral, went to Fort Bliss, plenty of people knew I was here, and yet you rushed this resolution through? That's a slap in my face. And again, come September 1st, I can't wait to adjust some of these numbers. So, you not only disrespected me, but I'm also a member of the U.S. Armed Services, and I was called to duty. So you not only disrespected your sitting mayor, you disrespected all the veterans and those that have put on the uniform to answer the call to duty, in my opinion. Those who have worn the uniform knows what I'm about to say, but we call those folks Jody. All right? Everybody's called Cadence knows who Jody is. Jody's the person that steals your girlfriend, steals your job, pretty much undermines you while you go off to serve your country. So for those citizens that may have not have worn the uniform, unfortunately we have a lot of Jodys around. So to the citizens of Benton County, I'm back, and thank goodness in a nick of time. When I became your mayor 4 years ago, I assured you bold leadership, and that is what I'm planning to give. We will get this county back on track, and we will begin governing outside of this patent-place mentality displayed in my absence. I am honored to serve you, and will do so with the very best of my efforts and skills. May God bless Benton County. Thank you.
Number 5 is approval of the minutes. We have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Ferguson for approval of the minutes. Any questions about the minutes? If none, please vote.
Gary Burke.
Anyone wish to change your vote? 15 yes.
Motion
carries.
passes.
Sorry.
It's okay, go ahead. Next is the report of the public utilities. We have a motion by Commissioner Ferguson and a second by Commissioner Hall. Any questions? If none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? 15 yes, motion carries.
Next is the approval of the release of the trustee of Benton County for the 2020 tax aggregate of $8,071,945. We have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Ferguson. Any questions? If none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
could I request a recess before we begin the resolutions?
Yes, you may. So that is our next resolution is number 1, so we're going to take a 10-minute recess.
I don't know why that's, and then I'm going to go back. Since we're fixing to start the resolutions, which really runs like straight through all of those, I'll call you when we come back to the recess, okay? What is your name? Jessica Petty? Pettit. Okay.
Yes, sir. How are you, young lady?
How are you? I haven't seen you in a
Oh, I
long
get a hug.
time.
Oh, my goodness. How's that boy of yours?
Good, he's grumpy.
I want to see a picture of Crawley. I'm serious. I want to see that boy. Oh, looky. Soccer. I don't know anything about soccer, but what's that saying? I don't say anything. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you. You're running for District 1, aren't you?
Yeah, you're going to vote for me? Okay, never
Convinced me
mind.
to vote for you. Don't get me. Yeah, I still live in District 1.
Yeah, okay. You do know I'm having a breakfast next Saturday at the Burger Barn.
If you have a minute afterwards, I got some notes I'd like to look at. If
If
you
you
work
bring,
time.
who's your boss?
Right there.
I said your boss. What's this? They got you. What's this?
If it's good information.
We'll be right back.
See, I'm not a number guy. There's my number.
I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
You're going to be expanding a review of the BEP now as the state gets the county and city schools.
Okay, and my daughter's a teacher. She's been telling me, filling my ears up with this stuff. Yeah. Because, listen, I'm not very smart, but my kid is. Thank you so much. I enjoyed your presentation. You're ugly, but I enjoyed it. This was this is the place. I've watched this zoo for decades. This is the place. No, I'm talking about you personally. I'm just picking on you.
I believe it. You got no reason to own that. But you heard me ask that night. I didn't want to. And I said, is it easy work? But nobody I talked to. I just wanted to wait till they got back with the sign. But Randy Flat told me it was either or. Spend it down there or spend it Walmart. He said that right up there. He said we had to spend that money, which is exactly what and that's all I got to go from here, so because nobody gives me any. They don't want to keep me in the dark. They don't want to a few years ago when Randy bought it, he also said, if somebody comes with money, give it. He said you couldn't do it, but it's on. He said he had to change
She was supposed to be before they get out of here, y'all are in trouble.
You have to go like that. I've watched him for a long time. A long time, haven't you? A long time. I remember how he acted in school. He was a little ahead of me at school. I could watch him then. David, what's going on, buddy?
They're out of mind. Sure enough, they had quite a leak. Of course, that 6 to 8 weeks, they promised me to take and finish it to 12.
Yeah, no.
Oh, hell yeah, a little over vegetation.
Oh, you think it's not at you one time? Or you just saying that?
Yeah, I set the house up. And I told her she's something in here. I mean, hopefully it will be.
Can we ask the office? That's all I would say.
Well, they'll enjoy it.
They will.
Don't have to worry about the fireworks, pictures.
It's time to go home. I'm gonna say something. No. We're out. Okay. Where's her work? She's got onions, don't she? 7:20. There.
Even if you get 15 notices, I said your budget will not change. I said it is right.
We would be on number 8, which is resolution number 1, but there has been a lady approached me and asked to speak. She said she was sorry that she wasn't here at 6. She actually thought the meeting started at 7, and she asked if I would allow her to come up. Her name is Jessica Pettit, and I told her she could come up.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm late. Like I said, I thought the meeting started at 7. This is the first time I've ever actually attended a county commission meeting. I'm normally following on Facebook Live. I have something that I've written up that is slightly in reference to the budget, and I will try to be very, very quick about it. So some of you may know me, many of you don't. My name is Jessica Pettit, and I'm a 911 dispatcher at the Benton County Sheriff's Office. I do want to make it very clear that I am here on my own accord. I was not asked by the sheriff or by anybody else at the Sheriff's Office to speak. I've lived in Benton County most of my life. Growing up on McGoldridge Acres and Holiday, I attended junior high and high school here. And I have much love for my community, and I've always known that I've had a calling to help people. I've made it my life goal to do just that. I'm a volunteer fire department in this community. I'm a certified storm spotter and one of 3 certified storm coordinators with our local spotter network. I'm also in the process of becoming a certified BLS instructor to help teach as many people as I can in our community to help others. I'm also a military veteran, having spent 9 years in the Tennessee Army National Guard as a police officer with 1 deployment to Iraq. On top of all this, I am a mother, and I do work full-time at the Sheriff's Office. With recent discussions that have taken place with the upcoming budget, I'm highly disappointed and discouraged by this elected body. While I know it is not the responsibility of this body to pay my bills or balance my finances, there is responsibility to you through passing budgets for the county and county offices in order for county employees to be paid. As you all know, inflation is through the roof, and I'm not here to put blame on anyone here for that. However, with the recent budget proposal, you are in control of our ability to not only live, but to adequately serve everyone in this community. I know in past county commission meetings, those of us who work at the Sheriff's Office have been compared to fast food workers and not seen important to this community, at least by some on this commission. Appropriate funds are necessary to run not only the Sheriff's Office, but also the Benton County Jail. The Sheriff's Office needs more deputies to be able to continue to be ready to respond at all times to emergencies, yet we don't have enough cars for our deputies. The ones that we do have are constantly breaking down because they are driven continuously daily. The jail is constantly short-staffed and the dispatchers are working to the bone. I know some feel we shouldn't be getting rich off of our community by helping them, which is very true. However, we need enough to live. We have constantly lost good deputies, correction officers, and dispatchers to other agencies because of better wages. While money is not everything, we still need to support our families. The cost of living in the last year has increased drastically. What cost me $100 in groceries last year is now costing me almost $300. While many Other departments are getting a cost of living increase, the sheriff's office and the jail are not. While the county can afford to purchase the building the county should not be responsible for, in my opinion, we cannot afford to give every county office a cost of living increase. Many people, due to no fault of their own, do not understand how the jail or sheriff's office operates. Some have taken a tour of the sheriff's office or jail, but they have not worked in either of them before. While I cannot go into details of the jail as I have not worked in there myself, I can give some insight into the sheriff's office. In dispatch, every time someone calls 911, their call is answered at the sheriff's office by a county dispatcher, not the city dispatchers. When we answer these calls, 98% of our callers are having the worst day of their life. It is our responsibility to give each of them as much comfort as we can while they are waiting for their help to arrive. We are also the ones who dispatches the deputies, fire, and rescue to all these calls. Some of us dispatchers are seen as secretaries, however, we are so much more. We are literally the unseen voices that do our absolute best to help the people in our communities. Dispatch also handles all of the county and city warrants. We enter these into the National Crime Information Center in compliance with TBI and FBI standards, which helps us and our surrounding agencies bring justice to the victims. Our deputies put their lives on the line to respond to domestic assaults, vehicle accidents, suicide threats, and so much more. Yes, there are times that it is quiet in there, but usually when one call comes in, we have several more that do at the same time. I cannot tell you how many times we've had a call come in for a violent physical domestic in progress and minutes later get other 911 calls for a vehicle accident with injuries, a missing child, and a family finding their parent or grandparent deceased. And all of these come within minutes of each other, yet we only have 3 deputies on the road to answer these calls. 2 deputies need to go to the domestic for safety, 2 at a minimum for the vehicle accident to work the crash, provide aid, and assist with traffic control. As many as possible are needed to search for the missing child, and at least 1 to help the family who's just lost a family member. The county deputies also serve all of the warrants that are issued in the county and the city. The responsibilities the deputies and dispatchers have at the sheriff's office are severely underrated. 3 deputies to cover 436 square miles is beyond disappointing. There are 16,000 people that live in this county and many more who pass through. Our deputies have seen horrible things that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. The dispatchers have heard cries for help that we will hear every night before bed. Yet, we all still show up because we love our community. The deputies also respond to surrounding counties to help during their emergencies as well, such as the Waverly flood. We get so much support from the community we serve, yet I feel we get very little support from the people who are elected by the very same community. Cutting $200,000 plus from the sheriff's budget is not an inconvenience, but rather cutting our legs out from under us. With the proposed budget, the sheriff's department will not be able to pay their employees to serve this community on holidays, away from their husbands, wives, and children. Yet even on holidays, there are still emergencies. People still fight, people still steal, and some still have vehicle accidents. We cannot simply just not come to work because there are too many people counting on us to be there during their time of need. So I have this important question for our county commissioners. Where is this money being taken out of our budget being allocated to? Where is the $200,000 going? Because from my standpoint, we are only important to this body when you have an emergency at your home, but we aren't important when your citizens have emergencies at theirs. I'm asking this commission to seriously consider the amount of damage they could be causing by voting this budget to pass. The sheriff's office doesn't want new cars, they need new cars. The jail, the deputies, dispatchers, and office personnel deserve a cost of living increase just as well as all other county employees. The sheriff's office and the jail needs a budget to be able to pay the bills and especially pay their employees.
Ms. Pettit?
Yes.
How much do you like?
Like 4 sentences.
Okay, that's fine, go ahead.
Please do not make this about politics. Please do not simply do this because you do not like one individual, because the vote you make on this budget not only affects the sheriff, but also the employees at the sheriff's office, the jail, and most importantly, it will affect the community that we serve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we are to resolution number 1, which is to appoint Sue Condor to the Benton County Committee on Aging. I have a motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Stokes. Any questions?
Is she here tonight?
Ms. Condor, are you here in the audience? No, she is not. Any questions?
Is she been appointed by the mayor? Mayor Brent?
Yes.
Are you appointing her?
Well, I did not choose her. I'm sure she came recommended by the Aging Committee as well, and normally we will defer a little bit of consideration to the aging committee. They tend to vet some of these members. Like I said, this was prepared and nominated before, but she has my full endorsement. I know who it is. Again, it's the mayor's privilege for that appointment, so she has my endorsement.
Thank you.
Okay, any others? If not, everyone please vote.
Anyone wish to change her vote? Motion carries 14 yes, 1 no.
Number 9 on your agenda is a resolution authorizing matching funds for the Workforce Development Grant Program, Delta Regional Authority for the fiscal year 2022-2023. We have a motion by Commissioner Nunnery and a second by Commissioner Ferguson. Any discussion? Commissioner Hill?
Yes, I believe there needs to be an amendment made on this resolution from the floor. In the second paragraph, third line, understands that Benton County will be accountable for providing a match rate of no less than 10%. I believe the no less than needs to be removed, and it should be providing a match rate of 10%.
Okay, do we have a second for that amendment? We have a second by Commissioner Melton for the amendment.
Please stand by.
Okay.
Commissioner Hill, you said to change the wording from what to what?
To remove the words no less than, strike them through. And then it would read a match rate of 10%.
We're ready, Madam Chair.
Okay. Now we will vote on the amendment made by Commissioner Hill.
Anyone wish to change their vote? 15 yes. Motion carries.
Okay. Now we will go back to the resolution as it was amended. Any discussion? If not, please vote.
Stephen? Gary Farr? Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Number 10 on your agenda is a resolution to approve the Benton County Board of Education Federal Projects Funds. We have a motion by Commissioner Ferguson and a second by Commissioner Nunnery. Any questions or discussion? If none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote?
You state your.
I may have a conflict.
14 yes, 1 abstain with conflict.
Okay. Resolution passes. Number 11 is a resolution to transfer funds within Fund 151 Debt Service in the amount of $18,317. The way I understand it, this is just a correction from last month.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Was it $17 or $70?
70.
$18,370.
Just make sure we had the same thing. That's not
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Nunnery and a second by Commissioner Stokes. Any questions about this? It is just a correction only that Ashley needs to make. If none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? 15 yes, motion carries.
Number 12 is a resolution to transfer funds within the Highway Department budget in the amount of $65,000. I have a motion by Commissioner Ferguson and a second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions about this? If none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries, 15 yes.
Number 13 is a resolution to transfer funds within the Fund 178 Other Capital Projects in the amount of $23,000. This is just a transfer of funds. We have a motion by Commissioner Ferguson and a second by Commissioner Stokes. Any questions about it?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
The funds coming out of this Fund 178, is that also going to be grant funds going to that, or is that new monies from our general fund?
It's not new money.
Okay.
No, that's money that's in their account already. Is that not right, Wanda? That money's...
But we're not on that one.
No, 71.
Yeah. It's the resolution before that one, Mr. Melton.
But that Fund 178 is where the grant money or the fund money went for these projects, so it's not coming out of anywhere else. That was my question.
No, it's not.
Thank you.
Okay, if none other, then everyone vote, please.
Anyone wish to change their vote? 15 yes, motion carries.
Number 14 is a resolution to transfer funds within the county clerk's budget for bonus payments to employees in the amount of $16,000. This is also a transfer of money. We have a motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Ferguson. Any questions? Okay, if none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries, 15 yes.
Number 15, a resolution to transfer funds within the school's budget in the amount of $83,000. We have a motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Stokes. And this is only changes within the budget. It's not new money. Any questions? If none, please place your vote.
Board. Anyone wish to change their vote? 15 yes, motion carries.
Number 16 is a resolution to transfer funds within the school's budget in the amount of $20,000. These are changes only, they're not new money. Had a motion by Commissioner Ferguson and a second by Commissioner Hall. Any questions or discussion? If none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? 15 yes, motion carries.
Number 17 is a resolution to transfer excess payroll funds within the sheriff's jail budget in the amount of $7,150. This is transferring money. I have a motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Hall. Any questions? If none, please vote.
Gary Park. Anyone wish to change their vote? Rochelle, abstain. 14 yes, 1 abstain. Ms. Hill. Rochelle, do you mind? Was it a conflict?
Yes, my husband works in the jail and he receives payment if he works overtime, so I felt that was a conflict.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion passed. Number 18, resolution to transfer excess payroll funds within the Sheriff's Department budget in the amount of $53,000. Have a motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Hall. Any questions? If none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Number 19, a resolution to transfer excess payroll funds within the Sheriff's Department budget in the amount of $10,650. Motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Hall. Any questions? If none, please vote.
Mr. Melton? Rochelle, you're abstaining?
My payroll line item is affected by this, so I abstain.
Thank you. Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 14 yes, 1 abstain.
Number 20 is a resolution to budget funds in the amount of $6,000 received from the Benton County Industrial Board for the use of the match towards the Tennessee Entrepreneurship Placemaker Grant. Motion by Commissioner Ferguson and a second by Commissioner Stokes. Any questions about this one? If none, please vote.
Kenneth Miller? That's okay. Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Next is number 22 on the agenda. Number 21 is a resolution to budget grant reimbursement funds from the State of Tennessee Asian Carp Grant in the amount of $20,413. We have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Ferguson. Anyone have any questions or discussion? Commissioner King?
Can somebody explain this? Are we paying that money out?
Well, it's reimbursement, it's coming back in, we're going to pay it, it's coming back to us.
Okay, so the county is paying for the Asian carp?
No, we had to pay on the front end, and we're being reimbursed on the second.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? If none, everyone vote, please.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Number 22 is a resolution to budget the City of Camden allocation contribution in the amount of $4,500 within the Benton County Library's budget. Motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Stokes. Any questions? If none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Number 23 is a resolution to budget donations within the airport budget in the amount of $2,600 received for Aviation Day. I have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions about the donation? If none, please vote.
Seal Melton. Anyone wish to change their vote?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'd like to bring that up on the airport after the Aviation Day is a good day for everybody to come out and see that. I forgot, I think it's in June, if I'm not mistaken.
June 11th.
It's it's a great day out there. They ride kids and everything.
Okay. Any others? Comments? Then please vote.
Motion carries 15 yes.
Oh, sorry, Roy. Number 24, resolution to budget reimbursement funds in the amount of $6,400 from the state of Tennessee for the Lprf Master Plan Grant within Fund 178, other capital projects. Motion by Commissioner Ferguson and a second by Commissioner Hall. Any questions about this one? If none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
25 is resolution to budget pre-K state funds received in the amount of $2,190.99 within the school's budget. A motion by Commissioner Melton, and we've had a second by Commissioner Ferguson. Any questions? If none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Number 26 is resolution to budget State Department of Education summer camp learning funds in the amount of $284,993.59 within the school's budget. I have a motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Burke. Any questions? If none, then everyone vote, please.
Stephen?
I have a conflict.
Anyone wish to change your vote? 14 yes, 1 abstain. Motion carries.
Number 27, resolution to budget funds received from the Tennessee RMT grant in the amount of $5,288 within the school's budget. We have a motion by Commissioner Ferguson and a second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions? Then please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Number 28 is a resolution to budget funds collected during the month of April in the amount of $1,350 within the sheriff's budget. We have a motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Hall.
Ms. Ferguson, are you trying to amend? You ready for the vote?
Any questions? Yeah, please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Number 29, resolution to budget the refund received from excess cash to close on the old Walmart building in the amount of $3,095.21 within Fund 127. We have a motion by Commissioner Ferguson and a second by Commissioner Stokes. Any questions? Okay, please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
The next 6 resolutions are appropriating money, so each one of these will take a 2/3 vote. Number 30 is a resolution to appropriate funds in the amount of $2,238 from the unassigned fund balance within the county general fund in order to pay outstanding invoices received from the county medical examiner. I have a motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Ferguson. Anyone have any questions?
I just like that no one else dies in Benton County.
Would be nice.
Yes.
If we have none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Number 31, resolution to appropriate funds in the amount of $3,900 from the unassigned fund balance within the county general fund in order to cover tire disposal expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year. I have a motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Ferguson. Any questions? If none, please vote.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Number 32, resolution to appropriate funds in the amount of $6,400 from the unassigned fund balance within the county general fund in order to cover the commissioner's fees for the remainder of the fiscal year. I have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Ferguson. Anyone have any questions?
I would like to, Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion, an amendment that I not receive any money for the remainder of the year for committee meetings and county commission. Go back to the general fund.
Can we legally do that? They told me I could not when I first started on the commission because I said I did not want it.
Yeah, I already tried that.
And they told me I could not.
Okay. Well, I'll donate it.
We will put that in the minutes so that you offered, okay? We'll have the clerk document that in the minutes. Okay, so any other questions? If none, please vote.
This is all of us voting for money for ourselves. I think we all should have.
Is that staying, everybody's staying?
It's all paid.
But if we don't, the budget will run negative. Isn't that a bad thing?
Not if we don't accept the money. And it stays in the general fund.
Vote your conscience, that's what you do.
Well, Ashley's not here to answer that, but I think some of the reason for this is to pay the budget committee for the meetings that they have been in since March. It's not necessarily the commissioners' pay. I think the budget committee meetings may have ran over.
I'm not having a chance to vote yes or no.
Well, we're not there yet, Rocky.
I'm not sure that wouldn't trigger an audit fine.
The expense has been accrued, so that the expense has basically been earned, and so it's too late.
So we have no choice. We have to vote.
We don't want to trigger an audit fine.
Well, no, we don't want an audit finding, that's for
And
certain.
I think that's what would happen.
Okay, is everybody understanding? Looks like we're forced to vote for it. So, everyone vote, please.
Anyone wish to change your vote? We got 13 yes and 2 no.
Number 33 on the agenda is a resolution to appropriate funds in the amount of $13,000 from the unassigned fund balance within the county general fund in order to cover the increased expenses within the county coroner's medical examiner payroll. I have a motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Hall. Any questions? Please vote.
Ward. Anyone wish to change their vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Number 34 is a resolution to appropriate the remaining State of Tennessee Election Commission Grant Award amount of $6,545.36 from the unassigned fund balance within the County General Fund for the Election Commission to expend before the end of the fiscal year. I have a motion by Commissioner Ferguson and a second by Commissioner Stokes. Any questions? Please vote.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Number 35, which is our last resolution, is resolution to appropriate funds in the amount of $1,000 from the unassigned fund balance within the County General Fund in order to cover Election Commission board members' fees for the remainder of the fiscal year. I have a motion by Commissioner Melton and a second by Commissioner Stokes. Any questions? If none, please vote.
Mr. Fowler was requested to speak.
Mr. Fowler?
Still make a meeting.
I'm not aware of what they make. I think this is for the Election Commission workers. For the workers, yeah.
Well, he did, the election commission director, he turned the money back in already, or wasn't there some money there already? I know we took part of one salary and moved it to another one, but.
That money was already moved back in.
Yes, that's moved back in there.
Any others? Please vote.
Gary Clark. You don't wish to change your vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Next on the agenda is the appointing of notaries. We have 5. Rhonda Clement, Mary Crockett, Haley Michaelwich, Angela Bain, and Vicki Robbins. I have a motion to appoint. A motion by Commissioner Stokes and a second by Commissioner Ferguson. All in favor, vote, please.
Stephen? Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries 15 yes.
Number 37 on the agenda is any other business. Do we have any other business that needs to come before the commission? Commissioner Hill?
Yes, I would like to welcome Mayor Lashley back, and I'd like to take this opportunity to respectfully disagree with him on a few things. I do not believe that every decision the county commission made and recommendations of the oversight committee were all politically motivated. We have a lot of very hard-working commissioners, and we do not always agree. In fact, sometimes we vehemently disagree with each other, but I honestly believe that our commissioners vote their conscience and work for the betterment of the county. And I think we can agree to disagree on the things we vote on without always assigning a negative, ulterior agenda to it. I'd like to see less of that in the future out of all of us.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill. Sheriff, you're recognized.
Yes, ma'am. What I got to say, Mayor, may not make any difference. But when we started budget meeting, first thing we went to, it was brought up that the sheriff department down there had been neglected, I believe is the way to put it, for the last few years. And I totally agree. We haven't got the vehicles, manpower, anything else that we've asked for. And nothing that I've asked for in my budget. Nothing. For the last several years, no one has ever asked me anything about it. It's just nothing. So I haven't gotten anything that I've asked for. I want you to look at this budget that's proposed now. And I appreciate what the budget committee does. Look at the cuts that are done in it. You'll see that the sheriff's department's cut a couple $100,000. I wasn't overfunded a couple $100,000 each year, so I obviously needed the money. Now, if it's cut, I cannot, and I want this on record, I cannot continue to operate the sheriff's department in the fashion it's meant to be. Serving papers, taking calls, operating everything that we have to operate 24/7. The money's not going to be there, and we can't do it. That's going to mean cutting down on patrols. That means you're going to have people out here that's going to be stealing and doing whatever. We're going to have to set them cars there. They're wore out. The cars are wore out. Half of them shouldn't even be on the road. And talking doesn't seem to do any good. So I just want it on the record that if you pass this budget with these cuts that have been made to the sheriff's department, it's nothing more than a slap in the face to the sheriff's department and the citizens of Benton County, because we cannot protect them and take care of them. I don't know if y'all took it serious, but I took it serious on my oath that I would do my job. And I cannot do my job, and it's my job to present to you what I have to have in order to do my job. That's what I've done. It's been denied. Vote on it Wednesday night when it comes up or whenever it comes up. But I want you to seriously look at it, because it's going to make a huge difference in what we can and cannot do in this county. I can't get any extra manpower. I can't get them vehicles. I can't get anything. Gas prices went way up. Our gas budget didn't go up any. Everything that we've asked for, we've been denied. I just want you to think about that and remember that whenever you go to vote. If you vote it in, I'll do the best I can with what I've got. But we cannot operate and take care of the citizens of this county if you vote it in. Thank you.
Sheriff, did I not meet with you last year when this past budget was being developed multiple times?
What was that?
Last year on this budget we're in now, did I not meet with you multiple times concerning the budget and the number of vehicles? And I told you 4 vehicles was the most that we could do, and we ordered 4 vehicles, we haven't gotten them yet. And in the budget right before that, at the end of the year, I will look to get you another truck. So don't say that nobody has talked to you about things when we're trying to do things.
I've received 8 vehicles in 4 years. The truck was brought in because I was furnishing a truck for the last 4 years through the military surplus to pull the trash truck around because the county wouldn't buy one.
You said no one had discussed any of this with you.
You have discussed it with me. You have on 2 different occasions. You came to my
More than
office.
2 occasions.
Whatever you remember.
Mayor Lashley.
I just want to say a couple things. Respectfully, thank you for your comments, and I do know how it could be perceived that way, but from my perspective, if you'll remember, first of all, I've never seen an oversight committee, right? We've had multiple financings within this county, never an oversight committee. And when we passed that particular deal, if you remember, I actually moved that we name positions for that committee rather than names, right? Because positions can change out. You can be a chairman one day and not the next year, or whatever it may be. Someone could die, someone could resign. And I said, it's the positions that we are putting on that committee, and yet that was voted down. Specific people were put on that particular committee for a reason. And they all had sentiments against what we had originally proposed. Okay, so that's, again, politics. Hey, it happens, and I accepted that. But I know from simply the fact of having an oversight committee, micromanage this county, it's not your authority. The only authority you as commissioners have is a vote. You cannot actually tell a single county employee what to do. You cannot go on county property and make yourself at home. I am the only one authorized to do that, or the sheriff. You only have a vote. It is my job to execute your efforts, okay?
Well said.
So at the end of the day, I believe it was political, but again, maybe we're not having enough debate or open discussion, and Mr. James Peach is right. We can do a better job at giving out agendas and making that public and getting that out to the public well in advance. We can do better by that. Normally, the chairman and the chairman and I can probably talk that out and arrange a better way of doing that. Scott, I know that you're over there. Just make sure when we get that agenda out that it gets to the website as fast as we can. We can do better with transparency. And I love our debate, but again, I kind of respectfully disagree that the Oversight Committee, to me, it's been a dangerous committee. I think it was formed, and to me, it's wasted 10 months of effort. But that's my opinion. That's just everybody's got one. I want to talk to the sheriff. Unfortunately, politics is what have you done for me lately. But I do remember 3 budgets prior to this. We've done our best to come to the table to help the sheriff's department. We're not a rich county, but I do believe when we have had somewhat of a surplus, we've done what we can. You know, we've tried to give raises. They're probably never going to be enough, but we've tried to do that. You know, we've adjusted salaries. We've put more money into payroll. We've given raises when we can. And that's one of those things that rests on the shoulders of the commissioners, that if they've got the money, it makes a lot of more decisions. So my challenge to you would be, you know, prisoner income. We rely heavily on that, and I know that creates a headache for you, but there's an opportunity there is what I'm saying. So we need to discuss, can we get more out of prisoner income? Maybe we can begin transferring. If you feel like you can add capacity, we make a deal. It's all about going to the table with the debate, but you know, I look at the capital projects that we've done, you know, camera systems, impound lots. We definitely have got a few extra cars than we had just from the capital outlay note. You know, we've definitely done raises. You know, we're not always going to get our way. You have a valid deal, because when you don't have your funding, the people do suffer because it's called crime. The level of crime could go up. But I'm just saying, hey, I have my battle with the commission as much as anybody else. But at the end of the day, I believe the commission does deserve some pats on the back for 3 years of budgets, really doing what they can to come and help the sheriff's department. So that's just my opinion. You've got your opinion, and we can discuss that with Chairman Melton, you know, in the few budget meetings that we may have. But I also want to bring your attention to resolution number 14. All right? So that's the Asian carp grant. And here's, when I get frustrated about money flows and how we optimize our money, I'm about leveraging money to get the most impact from it. And we got $1.1 million from the governor's grant. And it was given to us very loosely. Never will we probably see this in our careers as leaders of this county. We'll probably never see a grant more flexible than that original governor's grant that came in. We got $900,000, and we got like $300,000, and it came with very loose strings. So my strategy was money management, was to turn that grant into $4.2 million worth of money. So we received $1.1 million. We had spent down about $200,000 or $300,000 on various projects. I believe Chairman Melton, one of the last things he did was allocate $100,000 of that for the sheriff's vehicles. Did that ever come to fruition?
That's part of the money we're talking about.
And so that is $100,000 for $100,000. And so why I'm against allocating any governor's grants money towards Walmart is because we're getting $1 for $1. But we were using that grant to leverage as our match dollars on other grants. So let's take this Asian carp grant, $150,000. We had to pull from our pocket. We pulled from the governor's grant and knew the timing of that grant would come, and we would eventually get 100% reimbursed. So that $150,000 would come back. That's leveraging that grant to its fullest degree. People talk about sidewalk projects, multimodal access grants. There were 2 of them, one for Big Sandy, one for Holiday, $1 million each. It was going to cost us $50,000 for each grant. We were pulling that from the governor's grant. So that was basically a grant that we had gotten for nothing, free. We were leveraging to get more money out of that. The BRIC grant, which is a FEMA grant, which was a flood mitigation grant for the fairgrounds area, $1.4 million. It was going to cost the county $70,000. We were going to pull from that governor's grant. So at the end of the day, the net cost is zero. That's a reimbursable grant. So we've already received 3 health grants, 1 parks planning grant, and this Asian carp grant for a total of $720,000. It didn't cost us a penny. It's money flow, it's cash flow, and I've heard from a Facebook meeting that the former mayor said that I didn't know what I was talking about. You remember we put that $625,000 or $675 for the volunteer fire department. Y'all remember that grant? And that was an obligation, mental obligation, that we needed to help our volunteer fire departments. And so I heard the comments. The mayor really didn't know what he's talking about. Well, I'm back 1 week. I've made 2 phone calls and met with a financial individual, and that was false. I was right. So we're going to go back, and we're going to grab that Walmart money of $1.7 million, and we're going to pledge $1.375 back to the volunteer fire departments. And it will be covered in that grant. And I've already talked to 2 U.S. senators and basically a financial person who's over grants. And it's going to work. So I do know what I'm talking about, and I know how to leverage money, and I know how to manage cash flows. We don't have a tax problem. We definitely have tax cash stress. And so it's basically cash flow management is what we need to focus on. We've got the money, it just doesn't come at the proper cycles that we want it. So that's my take, and until y'all can convince me otherwise, that's the stance I'm going to take. Yes, sir.
So my question is, how much of that Asian carp money did we use for Asian carp?
Well, you got to understand, we have to comply to the grant. What's the grant designed for? And it's one of the very few grants that will actually benefit a private business. So it goes to D&D Caviar up in Harmons Creek. They're one of 3 Asian carp vendors.
The question was, how much of that money did we spend for Asian carp?
Well, you got to understand, Hunter, all of it. All of it goes to Asian carp because it goes to that vendor to be able to harvest more and more capacity.
Oh, how much? I'm asking the dollar amount.
Well, the grant was $150,000. We paid $150,000 for the grant. We're going to get $150,000 returned to us.
So we spent.
So at the end of the day, our net cost is $0.
So we spent $150,000.
To optimize that grant, but we're getting it back. We're getting it back. So our net, and that's pulled. Hey, had we not had the pot of funds there, then I would absolutely say, well, where are we going to get the 150, right? I mean, that makes you decide different. That makes you make different decisions. But because we had that pot of money there, we optimized that grant. That's what I said. We were basically turning $1.1 million into 4.2, and that's minimal. I mean, now that the farmers market's kind of killed, I'll be honest with you, the farmers market's going to be probably 3, 4, 5 years before it becomes a reality. It's not the priority now. The Ag Center is. But gives us a little pot of money that we can keep in a fund so that we can take advantage of these grants as they come. If we just use that grant just for match money, we're maximizing tax dollars. And these are non-Benton County tax dollars that we've been given. So again, we're not going to grow. They say you got to invest in yourselves. You got to spend money to make money. The governor's grant was an excellent opportunity for us to leverage money to its fullest degree. And that's basically, like I say, resolution number 14, and that's just one of the examples I wanted to tell you about. Applaud yourself because you have to approve it. You know what I mean? Ultimately, you budgeted that money and allocated that money, and those are things that I pat you on the back. Like I said, I'll give you heck when I give you heck, and y'all give me heck. But at the end of the day, the commission really has faced a lot of challenges over the last 3-4 years. You've risen to the occasion. So
you'll remember the $600,000 that's allocated to the Walmart project started out when we were working on the projects. I met with Scott and with Alton, and after we narrowed it down to what we absolutely had to have for projects, I met with you and Ashley in your office, and it was said we had to reserve $600,000. We could not allocate anything below that because it had to be for those projects. Those projects were the senior citizens, the ag extension, and that's where that money still is. Those projects are slated to go into the Walmart building, so it is still with
right. And the $2 million bond financing is still there.
$2 million is there also.
And that's why I said, we won't, you know, of course, I know that I go after grants because we don't have the money out of our own pocket. So I'm a person that believes that it's your money going to other communities right now. My strategy is to bring it back to your community, you know. But I will not put us in a position of going in the red. Meaning if we have to put a project off and schedule it for here and move this into here, move that one to here, we were not going to start all these projects simultaneously because the cash flow would not work. We were going to do one, maybe get it 75, 80% complete, start that next one. I look forward to our discussion going forward, but I just want you to know that that's leveraging tax dollars to the fullest benefit for Benton County. I yield the floor unless there's another question. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Commissioner Fowler.
Yeah, I just want to, you know, on this grant, you talk about the sidewalk there in Holiday. You know, let's spend $50,000 there of our taxpayer dollars to do that for $1 million grant.
I don't believe that grant was awarded.
Oh, well, that's where I was going. Oh, the other question was, on your Asian cart grant, do we keep track of the people that the money, like the processors? Do we get invoices on that money of where it was spent for maybe for freezers, claimers?
Well, we bid a lot of that out. Like we've actually bid out projects for him if they're over $10,000.
Do you know who all three of the people in Benton County are?
No, there's only 3 in the state of Tennessee, 2 in Henry County and 1 in Benton County. So he's the only one in Benton County that could have received that grant. Originally, it was $123,700.
So one individual received $100,000.
His business received it.
How do we keep? And of course, we get reimbursed for that, right?
Yeah, we got all that we spent on. Basically, was freezers so that he could hold greater capacity, which means more of the fishermen can bring them off the lake, and. It's one of the few grants that goes to actually benefiting a private individual, but it's important to TWRA. I think it's important to us. We know what Asian carp, the impact it is, and he's the only one we could do that for because he was a Benton County citizen. You know what I mean? He just took advantage of it, and we were there to help him when we had an opportunity to help him.
Now, in the fire department, you mentioned something about the fire department. I must have dozed off, but go over that one more time on what you said.
You remember when before we left, we were taking that ARPA grant. There's a segment of that ARPA grant, which is the federal COVID money, just call it that way, that went to public safety, and another clause that went to nonprofits. Now, early in the grant process, yes, I can understand it comes out very restrictive, but we all know politics. Once enough people begin tinkering with it and finding the holes and where things can be improved, Congress always comes back with an amendment, and they did. They made this grant, I guess, more flexible to be able to spend on public safety and or nonprofits. Our volunteer fire departments fall under both of them. Some of them need to have different equipment needs. So right now, my pledge is that we give them $150,000 each. This includes the rescue squad. So it will get them the breathing apparatuses, which cost nearly $10,000 by themselves. And so the rest can be used for whatever needs they have. But that, I believe we've got the money there.
Where you want to pull that money from? Is it
The $1.7 million with the Walmart. Now, of course, I'm anti-Walmart. I just do not believe we're there.
And what $1.7 million Walmart?
It's in the resolution. I'll tell you, we've already allocated the money to the budget. It's a total of 1.7, 900,000 this year. Okay, so we're budgeting 900,000 of the ARPA grant towards that. $200,000, I believe, from the property sale money is going to that. I've got.
That was allocated also for the old.
Now it's not spent; it's just allocated, right. And so when the grant comes in,
down at the old Lockhart dealer, right?
Say again.
It was initially allocated for the ag extension at the Lockhart dealer.
Correct. $1.1 million was going to be allocated towards the ag extension building. Now the farmers market was going to be 100% paid for. If you really wanted to move the numbers over, that was all grant money.
But in y'all
canceling this,
the farmers market was actually actually one with the city, if I understood that correctly.
Well, we were partnering up, but actually in canceling that grant, y'all don't realize, but we gave back $300,000 to USDA that was pledged. We've got $150,000 in an ag grant that we don't know if we have to turn that in here soon or not.
Did you ever see how much money we had to spend?
That may be
those
forfeited.
grants for paperwork? If I'm wrong, I think we spent $25,000 of the taxpayers' money.
That's reimbursable. It's reimbursable through the grants.
I don't think we've got.
But now we're at jeopardy of not getting reimbursed because we canceled the grants. So,
Cancellation of grants.
say again?
Grants were not awarded, there was no cancellation.
They were going to be awarded.
They were not applied for.
Oh, exactly. So we spent.
No guarantee of getting it. If we did not.
Yes, there was.
What we did.
We were
would
going.
have been penalized in the future.
No, we wasn't.
Not taking the grants.
Those grants were pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered. Our grant writer will tell you that.
Political promise is what you had, and we couldn't guarantee.
Either way, you sat right there, and the decision maker told you to your face that if we applied, we would get it if we partnered with Camden, and that happened. The decision maker for that grant told you. You were in that room.
You know, it took me about 3 months.
So the man authorized to actually award the grant told us, assured us, not just one time, multiple times. But let's just say that what about the $300,000 USDA? All y'all had to do was call me, text me, get me on Facebook. Not one time did y'all reach out and say, hey, now Mayor, not even the interim mayor said, now Mayor, what's your thoughts on this? I see blah, 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 blah. Give me your rundown.
Are you on active duty?
Yes.
Aren't you prohibited from acting as
No,
mayor?
I'm not acting as a mayor. I'm acting as a consultant. I can give my opinion on anything. I can give you a history of where we were. I talked to a lot of y'all while I was out, privately, but not a single time. No, I can't sign a document. I never signed a document.
I know we had a meeting about that, running the city mayor and then the sit-in mayor and county was, and we learned a lot in that. We learned that we was not to buy back the city's part of it, pay their half of the grant, and then pay their half of the match on top of that too. We tried to combine our county with the city to run all the parts as part of all that. It was gonna be a hectic mess. It really was, but anyways.
Okay, we got anything else?
May request. Chairman, I'm going to bring up the subject and make a motion, and I ask you, Chairperson, to make sure I'm in order to make it properly. I'm not good at this. I'm pretty sure it was last month that we voted on the Benton County employee handbook. And I was probably not prepared to vote for that, but I voted yes. And there's a sentence that I would like to make a motion if I'm in order to remove from that Benton County employee handbook. And it's 3 sentences above where the employees are asked to sign their signature. And I'll read it to everybody. 22 sentences. I further understand that my employment is terminable at will, either by myself or the county, with or without cause or notice, regardless of the length of my employment or the granting of benefits of any kind. That sentence discusses me. I'm an advocate for workers, and I would like to make a motion if somebody give me a second to have that removed, and that would at least get before anybody will have a conversation.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Are you wanting to remove the county employee is hired at will?
It's a sentence.
Because that's a state law. You can't remove that part of it.
I understand through CTAS that can be. We weren't required to have that sentence.
I think, okay, not that I'm against what you're saying, but I think everybody's sitting here wondering, does anybody have the handbook with you to look at this and see what he's talking about? Yeah. I think this is what I would like to recommend. No one has their handbook here with them to be able to look at what you're wanting to change. I would recommend that you bring that back next month in the form of a motion to make an amendment to that handbook.
I'm going to ask you to reconsider, Chairperson. We're required to sign this last day of this month. What if we make a motion to second take a vote on it if it should pass, and then if you or the mayor or somebody shows us where it's wrong.
That document can be amended at any time, and no one knows, no one has the book with them.
I disagree because we don't have a book here in the room. I don't think anybody else has. I think they should have a right to look at what your statement is. Okay, and bring it back next month. Okay.
Rocky,
You can amend the handbook, but
if you could put that in the resolution for next month, I'd like to sign on it.
Thank you, Carol. We'll do that.
Because I don't think it's right either.
I would say from the mayor, from the administrative end, that there is a condition of employment, and understanding that condition, we are an at-will, employer, and so that statement probably applies more to the upfront hiring process, and we could probably do better at when we hire people. I mean, they need to come in with an understanding. Seeing that statement as a condition of the handbook, though, I'm kind of like Commissioner President. It just speaks the wrong way for a handbook.
Whether it be law or not, it's dirty underhanded not to tell somebody why they're getting fired.
Yeah.
That's right.
but I don't think we can change a state law.
You don't have to change it, you can just not put that in there.
Okay, that would be fine, but I think if it come down to someone being fired and a lawsuit, they wouldn't have a lawsuit, is what I'm saying. Okay.
Gives you a project for a month to look at.
Roseanne, where is our attorney?
I don't know. Wait just a minute, Commissioner Hill.
Yes, Rocky said something about them having to sign it by the end of the month, all the employees, is that correct? Do they have to sign it before the end of this month?
Well, it's not like I'm going to terminate anybody if they don't, you know what I mean? But
you have to sign the handbook
Deadline,
by.
I'd like to extend it then until after next month's meeting so that there is.
And we haven't gone to the printing press, meaning, you know what I mean? Like, we haven't gone to an official state of distributing that. I would say that I know that I have signed a lot of those, and basically the very front page is, hey, you're just acknowledging that you have this handbook. It's up to you to read, that type thing, and that's all that we need. But I'm all for removing that statement. It just didn't read right, and it doesn't set the right tone.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, wait just a minute. I had something to say. It's short, though. Okay, at the last Budget Committee meeting, Commissioner King asked why no one ever saw a copy of the Budget Committee minutes. Well, Ms. Ashley Travis is the secretary, and she's there at every meeting, and she's typing the minutes. I would like someone to entertain a motion that a copy of those Budget Committee meetings is put in every packet, either hard copy in the packet or emailed to each commissioner, because I think we all have a right to read those minutes.
They were in our packets for years before.
Years before, but they haven't been in a while,
Make a motion.
Yeah.
I would like to amend that motion and have all minutes put in our packet from all committee meetings.
They used to always be. I agree.
Yeah, they used to always be, and I don't know where that ended, but that was always the procedure of every month we had a copy of the minutes from the previous meeting. So
Thank you for your minutes. Timely, very timely.
Yeah, they are. We get his locked in the very next day. So do we
Motion.
make a motion? We have a second?
All meetings.
For all meetings to be included in the hard copy, like in the packet, or are you talking about by email? We got two different ways. In the packet? Okay. All right, we have a motion that all committee minutes will be included in your packet every month.
Yes.
So, all in favor of say aye? Aye. Any opposed?
Point of order, you have to suspend the rules.
That's just any other business thing, really.
Okay, do what you want.
Okay, I'm finished, that's all. And there is a budget committee meeting tomorrow, Wednesday night at 5 o'clock.
Yes, remember, budget meets Wednesday, 5 o'clock here. We need all commissioners here.
Anyone else?
About all the committee meetings being in the packet, these passed in the past, right? Remember when that?
I remember that, too. It used to always be that way. Okay. Motion to adjourn?
There'll be some extra budget.
Okay. All in favor? Vote aye to adjourn.
have. She's throwing a fit. Bruce told me a while ago.
You're good, Derek.
They throw them before.
You and I,
We're subject to getting us the minutes back in time too. What was equipment? We work on your committees, I work on your committees.
I didn't know we voted to get
He gets them just like that.
The next day.
And so that's the way it's really all done. You've got 7 days to get an answer. And of course,
Okay, have you got an extra copy of the budget somewhere?
yeah. And this is from, who was it that was saying, with economic and all that, you're subject to who serves. Not everybody that has an economics degree. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like secretaries. It's who's the secretary of these committees are important.
Well, we'll talk about it, but do you want to start handing out a copy of the agenda?
Yeah, well, you know, I used to put them out there on a stand, but I barely have time to even read the packet this week. So it's,
You get this thing turned off.
Honestly. I was thinking ahead.
I'll be careful.
We give a good jerk on the guard here.
Are you gonna make it?
figure. That's why I just gave you that first. That's why I wanted to go see.
If we keep an oversight committee, they made them up. I would think so, yeah. Right.
That's what it is. I've got some economic meetings going on right now, so let's see.
I remember that when that was, no, I don't want, no, let's don't do that.
You did good.
No, we don't have to read it. I mean, it was a big thing. Yeah.
No, not yet. That was my thing. I'm sorry, I clicked on it to see if I got called in. No, that was me too.
We used to approve all the
It fell out of my purse.
reports, committee.
As well.
I know it. Oh, I know, that took so long.
I'll see you when you get home, huh? Hey, see you when you get home.
Yes.
Dawn who?
Again, that's what I'm saying is, you buy the buildings.
Oh, yeah, I remember those. I remember those days. And finally, somebody got smart and said, there is no use to read those when they're in your packet, you know?